Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T, and very special guest joining me, Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion. Brad, how you doing today?
Great.
You're a Rockford guy, grew up here, right?
That's correct.
When did you start and get into kickboxing?
Started karate when I was 13. Started kickboxing when I was like 19, 20.
And what was it about it that you enjoy?
When you're in karate, there's a tournament every week somewhere, and you could fight 10, 15 times just to get a trophy. And when you fight these guys for many times, they know what you do for a while. I used my legs a lot, and a lot of times you can kick to the groin area in these tournaments and get a point and stuff. Once you fought plenty of guys, they knew what you could do a lot. Every time I try to kick these guys, they do this counter groin kick and hit me in the old gizmos half the time, you know. That was one reason why I almost got in there, because I don't want to go into a fight like that and be able to use my legs and not worry about getting kicked in the old gizmos, you know.
What was the transition from karate to kickboxing?
Kickboxing, really, the only thing karate about it was actually the kicks and the spinning back, because otherwise you need a lot of boxing. It's a lot of work, though, I know that. And when I was a kid, my instructor asked me if I wanted to try it, and I said, I'll try that just because, like I said, I can go out there and throw some kicks and see what happens. And unfortunately, I killed everybody. The sport really didn't go anywhere for a long time. Didn't really go anywhere, actually.
I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. When did you figure out that, hey, I'm pretty good at this, I could do more with it?
You go to these tournaments, that's how you know how good you're doing and how good your classes, your students are, you know, win some trophies and all that. My manager, John Mazak there, he's the one that asked me if I wanted to try it because he knew I had some talent, I guess. I never said I was good or anything, and a lot of people that step in that ring are good. That's all I got to say. I got to give them all the praise that they step in that ring. I just knew I had a little something extra. When I first started, I get the first 5 or 6 guys, they ain't like that. And I was a pro within my first 4 fights. Then I started fighting those pros, you know, and man, oh man, you didn't do them fancy stuff like you did in these tournaments. It's a lot different when you get into that pro division.
I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. When did you win your first championship?
Friday the 13th, I think it was 83, something like that, 83, 84, somewhere around there. Yeah, I know that because I fought this guy, Tom Hall. People that ever seen me fight know who Tommy Hall is. That's the one toughest guy I ever fought in my life. Fought him 4 times. And I fought him like 3 months before the title fight down in North Carolina. He broke my jaw in the second round. I went 7 rounds and my jaw broke. Beat him that day for the U.S. title. And then I got all ticked off because of the fact that I ain't get no shot at the title for years and I've been killing everybody. And then after my jaw broke, I'm ready to quit because I don't want this anymore. Don't pay nothing at all. I didn't get no shot at the title. After my mouth's wired up and all that, then these guys call me like a month later and go, you want to fight for the title? I'm like, I'm ready to quit, you know. It's like, now I'm in a rock and a hard spot because now I'm like, I might as well try it, you know. And I couldn't train because I couldn't breathe. When I did get some training in, it was not like usual. But when I fought Tommy like 3 months before that, I never went 9 rounds in my life. I was only 7-rounder, and then they bumped me up to 9 for that time I fought him when he broke my jaw. And now they want me to fight him again for the title. I'm like, what? I just fought him, you know. I've never went 12 rounds before. And it just happened to be on Friday the 13th, too. And I'm like, geez, I had my mouth wired shut for a month or so. And then I had hardly any training. And then I'm fighting a guy who's been ranked for years. And I won by 1 point because he missed 1 kick. Otherwise, I would have did all that for doggone nothing. It would have been another draw because by that time I fought him 3 times. I had a draw, a win, just barely won the world title by 1 point. I hurt for like months after that, man. I was so beat, tired, and that 12 rounds a long time.
I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. How many titles did you end up winning, and what were they?
All world titles I had. Heavyweight title and super heavyweight titles. And you know, when you're at the top, there's only one way to go.
It's down, right?
Yeah, and then you kind of get depressed because, you know, the sport never take off, so you get kind of ticked off and everything, so you just ain't in the mood to do anything. Then once you lose the title, then it gives you something to maybe go back for. But, you know, after 6, 7 years of doing this stuff, man, oh man, it just gets to you every day. Even on your days out, even when the days you're not fighting, every day you train. Every day, 6 days a week. Get off Sunday. Training for a fight and just regular training is you just got to stop all the partying. partying, you know. That's tough to do. Because everybody knows I love beer and all. And that's tough to do, quit all that partying, you know, for 5-6 weeks. And then that's what gets you all pissed enough to step in that ring and fight. You're just thinking about that beer afterwards. No, you're just thinking about that bell ring, get this thing over with.
So we can move on, right?
That's right.
I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. How many times did you fight for the championship in Rockford?
That I couldn't tell you. After, 83 or something like that, every fight I pretty much had there was a title fight. 20.
I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. It's the 40th anniversary of the Metro Center, and you had some fights down there, didn't you?
The old Metro, yeah. That was a nice place, and all people were still getting into kickboxing. Then get to come out in a big old place, because we were fighting like Armory and these other places, and then the Metro Center come in and made me feel like a real pro, Ain't nothing like walking out of that arena there, walking out of that dressing room, or just being back in that dressing room. And people, you could just hear them just cheering, and John would be back there getting me all fired up and stuff, and he was like, something, buddy, he goes, listen to that. Some people there, that's for you out there, Ain't nothing like walking out of that tunnel and just seeing 3,000-4,000 screaming people. Just, man, it's the greatest feeling in the world. If it wasn't for the fans, I surely wouldn't have been fighting, because it surely wasn't for the money, that's for sure.
I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. Well, and it was your hometown, too. That makes it even more special.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Rockford people crazy, man. I've fought all over, There ain't nothing like the Rockford people, man. Greatest fans, I tell you what.
And Rockford's a fighting town. I mean, people in Rockford love stuff like kickboxing and fighting and all that stuff.
Yeah, the tough man stuff, I never got into tough man. I was already halfway through my career when that started, but that's the way Mikey got it, Mike LeBrie, everybody knows Mikey too. He started in that, and then he got into kickboxing, and I was trying to tell him, don't even get into this stuff, I don't know if it's going anywhere or not, but because boxing was still going on, and we couldn't compete with boxing. Everybody thought, kickboxing, but that ain't a sport, because everybody was brainwashed by boxing, Sugar Ray and all those guys were just ending their career, but they were still fighting, so everybody was involved in boxing more than kickboxing,
Did you ever fight Mean Mike LeBrie?
We sparred much time, Ricky the Wolf Haynes, and the Wolf kept calling to try to, come in and work out, because, a lot of people always want to try. John would run them through one day worth of stuff, and they wouldn't come back, but the Wolf, he come in there, and he made it through John's torturous thing, and next thing I know, me and the Wolf are beating the hell out of each other Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and then as that went on, more people come in, like Roy McCowan, Mikey come in there, and me and Mikey fought, and never fought each other, though, I couldn't do that. It's hard to fight a friend,
Right,
it's impossible.
Exactly.
There's no way I could do it. He'd be like, let's do it. I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way. I mean, it was hard enough for me just to go fight a guy that I didn't even know, because John told me once he was wrapping my hands before a fight, he goes, something, buddy, he goes, you just ain't a fighter, I'm like, what? He goes, you just ain't got that mean. Tyson didn't give a crap about people, this and that, or whatever, go and kill him. He'd be a different fighter. That's why he keep me away from the dudes that I even fought, so I wouldn't have to talk to him, I get to be, this guy's not too bad of a guy. I don't know how to hit him,
I'm talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. Do you have a favorite moment in your fighting career?
Yeah, winning that title on Friday the 13th. Weirdest thing about that was when I got done with the fight, I drove home. I was coming up High Crest, and there was a line of cars on like both sides. I go, you got to be kidding me. No way. Yep. Couldn't even get in my own house for a couple hours after that.
That is really cool. If people never got the opportunity to see you fight, is there anywhere, are there fights on YouTube or anything like that?
I'm still like Rocky Balboa. I got nothing. I got no computer, no nothing. So that's what I hear everything from people who got, computers. But yeah, they said I got a bunch of fights on there and stuff, I'm sure a lot of people have probably seen some of them anyway. But that's what I was trying to work. I was hoping that when I retire, I might be able to sell some tapes maybe, people would be interested in watching me do some fighting, and then the internet took that away. So all you got to do is pop that on there now. And well, every fight I had is just something on TV, though. I mean, not every one, but I bet you there's like 15 or 20 of them on there probably.
We're talking to Brad Hefton, former kickboxing champion from Rockford. Buddy, thank you so much for taking the time. Always great chatting with you. We're going to have to hang out sometime soon again.
Been a long time there, Double T. Yeah, we got to go have a couple of beers, I guess. And I want to give a shout out, like say, hey, for all my fans out there, I love them all. Man, if it wasn't for them guys, man, I tell you, you guys are the greatest out there.
Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle.